Welcome to the practice test video. I hope that you've had an opportunity to try this test before you watch this video so that you can practice your test taking skills. This is a very long test. It had 47 questions, so this video will just be the first clip in this practice test explanation. So I'm starting on page 66 in the textbook. And I apologize for the way this looks. It got hung up in my scanner, and I didn't realize it until I had imported the whole thing, so I didn't want to have to go back. I think I can make do here, but I do apologize for the way this looks. Page 66 in your textbook, and here is part 1. It says to read the article, then answer questions 1 through 6. Ellen Ochoa has earned an important place in the history of United States spaceflight. She was born in Los Angeles in 1958. Her grandparents were Mexican. Ochoa is proud of her Hispanic heritage. Ellen's mother wanted her children to receive good educations. Ellen said, "In our household, there was a big emphasis on education. My mom expected us to work hard and do well." Ellen Ochoa did do well in school. Like many young people, she did not know what she wanted to be right away. She had been playing the flute since she was a child, so she thought about becoming a musician. She also loved math and science. A college professor told her that women did not do well in those fields. In spite of this, Ochoa majored in physics. She earned a doctoral degree in that field. She also loved flying and got her pilot's license. Then Ochoa decided to combine her love of physics and of flying. She applied to become an astronaut in 1985. She was turned down. NASA did hire her in 1988, but as a researcher. Soon, Ochoa was in charge of 35 other scientists. She kept applying to be an astronaut. She applied 3 times. Finally, in 1990, Ochoa was accepted for astronaut training. She became an astronaut in 1991. This made Ochoa the first Hispanic woman to become an astronaut. She trained for 3 years before she flew on her first flight on board the Discovery shuttle. After 3 delays, the space shuttle took off on September 12, 1993. Ochoa flew on the shuttle Atlantis in 1994. 5 years later, she flew on Discovery again. On that second flight, she helped Discovery dock at the International Space Station for the first time. She flew on Atlantis again in 2002. Ochoa has had many roles aboard space shuttle flights. She specialized in using a robot arm to send satellites into space. Then she captured them again. She also used a robot arm to help install huge pieces of equipment aboard the space station. In all, Ochoa has spent almost 1,000 hours in space. In 2013, NASA named Ochoa the director of the Johnson Space Center in Houston. Back on Earth, 6 schools have been named in honor of Ochoa. She continues to play the flute. She enjoys traveling with her family. Ochoa also spends time speaking to young people. She encourages girls to study math and science. She tells them that they can do very well in those fields and in anything else they want to do. And this is a picture of the space shuttle. I'm not sure if this is the International Space Station or what's happening in this picture. Normally there's a caption, but I don't see it. So it looks like this shuttle is docked with the space station, but I'm not sure exactly what's happening. That could also be a satellite of some kind. Okay, let's take a look at, this is bothering me. Let's Google the International Space Station, because I'm pretty sure that is not it. And you got a glimpse there of a science course I'm working on. I'm really excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun to write, and I hope a lot of fun to take as a course. I guess that is the ISS. Here's an image. I should know this, but I truly did not think it looked like that. So here's a large view of it. So I'm assuming that is what was happening in that photo. Possibly they're docking with the ISS, the International Space Station. Google is a wonderful thing. Okay, here is question number 1. It says to read the sentence. Ochoa is proud of her Hispanic heritage. Which of these words has the same or a similar meaning as heritage as it is used in this sentence? Is it future, education, background, or guides? Her heritage is C, her background. What is the main idea of this article? The entire article. In all, Ochoa has spent almost 1,000 hours in space. Ellen Ochoa did do well in school. Finally, in 1990, Ochoa was accepted for astronaut training. Or Ellen Ochoa has earned an important place in the history of United States spaceflight. The entire article was talking about her contribution to spaceflight. So number 2 is D. Number 3, why did Ochoa decide to become an astronaut? She loved physics and flying. She wanted to please her mother. She hoped to have schools named after her. She wanted to eventually be a researcher. I'm going to look back at this article. It is in paragraph 3. Ochoa decided to combine her love of physics and flying. She applied to become an astronaut in 1985. Physics, just if you're not sure, is the science or the study of motion. Flying is part of physics. It's aerodynamics is part of physics. But Ochoa really had an interest in both of these fields. What happened to Ochoa in 2013? So I'm going to look back for 2013. I'm just going to skim this text. This is a sequence text, so the dates are very important. And there it is. NASA named Ochoa to the director of the Johnson Space Center in Houston. When we were first learning this skill, remember we drew a timeline? Now that's not necessary because you've practiced it enough that you're able to do it without that graphic. But I would look back at the text. Okay, number 5 is a 2-part question. Based on the evidence in the article, what inference can you make about Ochoa? Or what can you figure out about Ellen Ochoa? Ochoa was not easily discouraged. Ochoa has visited the schools named after her. Well, it did not tell me that. That was not stated. Ochoa got her pilot's license so she could fly jets. It tells us that she did get a pilot's license, but we don't know what she flew. Was not stated. Ochoa thinks family is more important than career. That is not stated. It mentions that she enjoys her family, I believe, but it doesn't say one is more important than the other. So I'm going to go with A on this one. She was not easily discouraged. She applied 3 times for astronaut training. She made it in a man's field. She was in math and science classes when women were not expected to do that. Even when I was in school, it was not very popular for women to be in those advanced classes. So she was not easily discouraged. Part B, which 2 pieces of text evidence support that inference that she was not easily discouraged? Like many young people, she did not know what she wanted to be right away. In spite of this, Ochoa majored in physics. That's one of them. Because even though women were not supposed to do that, she did it anyway. She kept trying to be an astronaut. That is another reason that she was not easily discouraged. She enjoys traveling with her family. She continues to play the flute. She encourages girls to study math and science. So I'm going to go with B and C on that one. What is the text structure of this article? Well, I already mentioned that it is a sequence structure that is indicated by the dates. But which one of these means the same as sequence? That is chronological. Anytime you see chrono, or let's just say chron, think of time. Okay. So this is the answer set for that first article. And I'm going to stop the video and I'll start the next one starting with question 8.